Hey guys, it's Shannon and this is Majik Mentality. I am a Reiki practitioner and spiritual healer, and I am here to bring awareness about the ramifications of mental health on motherhood. Now, in part one of this video commentary, we visited another commentary creator video by the name of the public offender. Now, this is one of my new favorites because he speaks up a lot about the issues that he sees between men and women, um, especially when it comes to motherhood. Now, in this particular video, we saw two separate stories. So the first one is on as a part one. Go back and you can watch that one so that you can kind of keep up with this one. In the first one, it was about a mother who had a baby, even after she really didn't want to, and the ramifications of that postpartum. Now we are looking at a new story of a mother who became a single mom. Okay. And as we know, single motherhood is very common in our society. And what the public offender is really touching base on are the double standards that face mothers and fathers, and showing that double standard being astronomically put on women in our society and for our mothers. And I'm here to bring awareness to how this lack of support and these double standards really affect mother's mental health, and so therefore directly affects her self-care and in turn affecting the care of her children. So let's go ahead and jump into this next story, guys. It's a really good one.
Primary weight of taking care of the child when there is an able-bodied father there and she gets called the asshole again. Women just the expectations on it's fucking crazy.
And just so you guys are aware, now you'll understand a little bit more once you guys watch that first story. Because remember, in part one, this was a story that a mother sent in saying, "Am I the asshole?" After things went down in postpartum, after she had her first child. And at the end of it all, of course, her being the mother, she's called an asshole. And so that's where we're hitting on the commentary with public here.
I wish we had uh, a tenth of the expectations for fathers as we do for mothers. That if we held dads to a tenth of the standard that we hold mothers to, fathers would the, life would be completely different for the globe, for the planet. The way that men and even women do this though. That's the thing. Like that's the crazy thing because the mother in there said the same thing. The mother even was like, "Oh, a mother's not never supposed to abandon their kid." She's not abandoning her child. First and foremost. Secondly, even women are brainwashed into thinking that shit. Yeah, hell yeah. That's one of those things. Like, yep, like that is like both parties. But men do it, and to me, the reasons why men like perpetuate this shit are for nefarious reasons. Women are sold the lie. They, you know what I'm saying? They internalize the lie. Men project the lie. They're trying.
So basically, the lie is that if a mother chooses herself in any way, it's seen as abandonment, and it's just unacceptable. In our society, that is just the way women are labeled. When we as mothers want to take a stand and say, no, like I want something for myself, it's seen as this slight against humanity in a sense, because we're seen as the ones who are just supposed to sacrifice. And I really like that how he's hitting on this is and how in our society women are made to like to believe this. And so if we sit here as a if as a like, oh, as a mother I wouldn't, as a mother I wouldn't, you know, passing this judgment when we should be applauding this mother for taking her self-care and her health seriously. Let's see what else Publix had to say.
Trying to get women to buy into it so they can manipulate them. Women are being manipulated. So I don't look at it even. I don't even look at it the same when a woman says it, like, "Oh, you know, you're supposed to look out for your kids." Like, whatever, right? Like, she shouldn't be feeling like that. She needs to wake up too. But it's different than when the men do it because y'all don't be taking care of these kids. So who the fuck are you to be telling women like you need to grow up and you need to be a parent for your child and like shut the fuck up. You're not y'all men. Hold men accountable. Tell men they need to step up more and show up for their children more and show up for the women, you know, for the mothers of their children more before you utter a fucking single syllable to women about what women need to do and trying to villainize a woman for being like, I told you from the beginning. And there's the craziest thing. How often is it that women are told by the men, I don't want to be a father? But
So guys, as you can see already, you can see why like I like this guy. Um because it's so true. It's very true. He's like, don't even fix your mouth to say this to a woman because it's just it's countless evidence of men abandoning women and children. Um and I do like how he, you know, he touches on like, okay, yeah, it may go both ways, and you know, this stigma and this judgment may go both ways. But he's like, here are the facts. Like the fact of the matter is like, man, you're not there. And I enjoy the fact that he actually addresses men. Like he talks about it, you know, this is like he's showing it's not a woman's problem. He's showing that, you know, guys, that we need our guys to step up, that we need our papa bears to be there. And I really I respect that. I enjoy that. Because it's refreshing to hear a male voice say it and have a male call out other men. And yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And now, like, really pay attention to this next part, where he starts hitting on like manipulation and things like that.
but prior to the woman getting pregnant, I don't want to be a father. I don't want to be a father, right? And then the woman convinces the man, just give me a baby. Then she gives him a baby. And then all of a sudden, the expectations to take care of the child fall on the shoulders of that man. Like, men are never that honest. Men never tell women that they don't want a baby. They never say that shit. They don't say that shit until she's pregnant. Then that's when you find out he don't want a baby, right?
Now, it can go both ways with like whether I agree on this part or not. So I know there's like a lot of manipulation, and there are men who are very controlling when it comes to women getting pregnant within relationships. But a pattern that I have also noticed is that people can be really careless. And I have seen stories and heard stories of women getting with men, and the man tells them that they don't want a kid. Like, no, I don't want to have a baby. And the woman ends up getting pregnant anyway. Now, not that, you know, we have some who go against their partner's wishes or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is, no birth control is 100%. No birth control is 100%. And in a lot of these cases where a guy is saying they don't want to have a kid, they don't always use protection and guard themselves from having that. But something I notice is in these situations where a man says he doesn't want to have a child and a woman ends up getting pregnant anyway, purposely or not, when she complains or if she says anything about like, oh, he's not there, he's not helping me take care of my child, things like that, people come at this lady and will plainly just say, what did you expect? If a man is saying they don't want to have a kid, then you shouldn't expect for him to take care of the kid. Now, if a woman says that she doesn't want to have a baby and she ends up getting pregnant anyway and goes through with it and doesn't want to take care of the child after the child is here, oh my God. Oh, she is the worst thing on planet Earth. And that is where this double standard is when it comes to parenthood between men and women. The responsibility is hands down going to always be the biggest bit for mothers. A man could say, I don't want children. And if the woman ends up getting pregnant anyway, and he says he doesn't want to be there, oh, trust and believe. If he's not there, nobody's going to be batting an eye because she should have known better. Even though no birth control is 100%. Now, if a mother does that, super taboo. Let's check out the rest of the story, guys.
And I don't count one night stands and all of that shit because you're not even having those conversations. I'm talking about in committed relationships. 99% of the time, that man is like, "Oh, just have my baby. I'm gonna put a seed in you. I'm gonna put a seed in you." Then now she's pregnant with your baby. And 6 months in, he knocking her head between the washer and dryer, or he stepping out on her, or he abandoning her, he neglecting her, talking about she done changed and she ain't the same. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. She got a fucking baby inside of her. She got a.
Now, when it comes to abuse after a woman has a baby, this is very common, extremely common. Because there are many men who use pregnancy as a way to control women and to take advantage of them being in this very vulnerable and very sensitive state. Not to mention, after having a baby, women are extremely, extremely vulnerable. This is a time where a woman has gone through a massively traumatic experience. Her body is having to heal. And there are so many cases of abuse after a baby is born, um, especially with emotional abandonment. There is also abuse when it comes to being intimate in the bedroom, and having to put that boundary there for women to heal for those 6 weeks. There are many men who don't respect that, don't feel like they should. And now that their significant other's attention is all on a child, on this baby that they really don't care for, it can be dangerous. Uh, and so let's see what else Publix had to say. But I just did want to hit on that fact because that is something that is very common.
Fucking parasite. Like shit is fucking stealing her parts of her brain and her spinal cord and shit, bro. Like, yeah, she different. What the fuck? Here's the thing. And then you come across like stories like this, and you're like, nah, more women need to be on this type of time on that. Like, nah, them your babies take care of. Because this is what I'm talking about. How men be, how the fathers be making the women's lives difficult and all that. Like, I get when the woman is a primary parent, the dads do not make life easier for her. Period.
I'm probably going to get some hate for this video, but I'm prepared, and the ones who get it, get it. So I text my baby dad saying, oh, actually, let's get some more context for the story. He has promised the boys that he is having them extra in the summer holidays. For some reason, my son has got 2 weeks in his head. Dad's having us for 2 weeks. He's taken 2 weeks off work and he's having us for 2 weeks. I've heard nothing of the sorts. No communication. I've heard nothing about this. So I've messaged him and said, are you intending on having the boys a bit extra this summer holiday? I've had a response saying, I am intending to, just don't know when yet. Okay, well, it's the 1st of August tomorrow, and as a working single mother, I order food shops so that I can keep on top of my budgeting and not overspend. I have to organise childcare so that I can go to work, and I have to organise days out. I only get 1, sometimes 2 days a week at a push with the boys. So please could we hurry up and decide if we're going to have them?
So we see here, right there, the mom is saying, so can we decide? So dad gets to decide. hmm He gets to decide whether he has to take care of his children. Um, he can choose whether he wants to have them for extra time while it's summer vacation when they're not going to be in school all day. And now mom has to spend extra money on food because kids are in the house, everybody's home. Um, and she's just like, I have to plan for these things. I have to budget for these things. When are you going to let me know? It's the lack of communication and the absolute lack of respect of her time. Here we go.
Plan my life. And also, I never used to socialise, right? But I'm in my socialising era now. If I don't know when I can socialise and when I don't have my children, I can't have a life. It's not fair to withhold information from me so that I can't make plans. I also don't want to be buying an £80, £90 food shop for you to then say, I'm picking the boys up to.
So we see how she's talking about, like, okay, I don't want to glaze over this. I do not want to glaze over this thing called having a social life. Okay. Mothers need social lives too. Okay. We need to socialize as mothers too. Okay. And we have to make time for that. That is a part of our self care. And this is what I like to hit on. Do you see how public was just talking about the male is not going to make it easy for her to take care of them kids? He's not going to make her life easier. And here's one thing, because if she doesn't have a social life, she can't meet new people. If she doesn't have a social life, she's not going to find a new mate as easy. If she doesn't have a social life, her happiness isn't going to be intact. If we don't get to have this integral part of our self care as single mothers who most just work and come home and take care of the children, that affects our mental health. And that is very important. Yes, the money part is important. Okay, that is. But I want to make sure that we don't glaze over that point right there where she's like, I am in my socializing era. I want to be able to go out. I want to be able to have a life outside of the confines of only being a mom. It's very important.
tomorrow and having them for a week, because that doesn't help me at all. That would be me wasting money. And I know it seems like such a trivial thing, but as someone that is really struggling financially, if my boys aren't going to be here for a week and it is just me living here, I won't do a food shop. I'm happy with a bowl of cornflakes for dinner. I don't need a full food shop. Do you get what I'm saying?
And do you guys see how she is like, I know it may be a trivial thing, pulling back, making excuses, minimizing what she's saying, and as if to say that it's not, it is important. It is. It's not a trivial thing. No, no, it's not. It's not a trivial thing at all. Being able to plan and to budget around when our children are going to be around or not is important. Being able to plan around when our children are going to be at home or not, to have a social life, is important. But the way we as women are conditioned to minimize our needs, to dismiss our needs, and to beg to be seen is criminal and outright disgusting. In no way should any mother have to sit here and beg and minimize and say, oh, I know it may seem trivial, because of so much dismissive and abusive language and programming that has been put on women when we're asking for what we need. And when we're saying what we want, we're conditioned to lighten it and make it seem smaller than it really is, as if we're making a big deal out of nothing. And we are not. Not at all.
Do you get it?
I completely understand. Hell yeah, I get it. The father of her child is being selfish. He's it seems like he's being controlling in a way. Um,
He's definitely being controlling. He's definitely being controlling, like I said before, because then she can't move on. She wants to move on. She wants to move on with her life, and he sees where he can keep her stuck. And a lot of times, single moms, we don't have someone we can call on and say, here, can you come get the kids? Not everybody wants to babysit. Especially they don't want to babysit if there is an able-bodied father sitting down the street. It is insane. I feel for this mom. I feel for this mama bear. I really do. You can definitely see the pain in her eyes. You can definitely see the frustration on her face. She was holding back tears making this video. She probably was crying before that, just being so frustrated. This type of thing is taxing on the mother's mental health. And do y'all really think like that don't affect her children, that doesn't affect her household? It most definitely does. Because with less stress, she will be happier. And in turn, her children will be happier. A mother's state of mind has a direct effect on our babies. And it's not something we can help if we don't have that support. Any mama bears that are out there watching this right now and you can relate to this mom, please know that it is nowhere near trivial or wrong for you to want to pour into yourself. It's perfectly okay that you want to have a social life. Perfectly okay. We want to make sure that we are balanced. We want to make sure that of course, our priorities are our self-care. We want to make sure that we're pouring into ourselves so that we can in turn pour into our children. We want to make sure we're balanced and we don't overindulge just because, of course, our emotions can get the best of us at times, right? But take this time for yourself. Start making it a goal to save up a certain amount each month at least to be able to go and do something, to have something big that you can do just for you. Guilt free, you don't have to feel guilty, none of that stuff. Doing something for you as a mother, okay? And each day, do at least 15 minutes. If that's all you can bear, 15 minutes, that's just for you. As mothers, we have to take a stand and start taking our time back. There's no more martyrism. There's no more sacrifice. Okay? That is not the only thing that we are capable of. We are capable of so much more, and we deserve it. All right, guys. Like, comment, share the video. Please share your opinion at the bottom, putting it into the comments there, and let me know, how did this video resonate with you? All right. Click my links, live it up, and remember, love on you.